We talked about Pete Golding and obviously what a blessing he's been for Ole Miss. And, one man's trash is another man's treasure, they say, because in Tuscaloosa, they treated this man like he was a bum. They said this guy was a bum, Ben. He was awful. He's the worst defensive coordinator ever. All their woes, everything that went bad for Bama when Pete Golding was there was on Pete Golding, on nobody else. Okay. Now, Ole Miss has had probably the best defense in its recent history a year ago. This year's defense with a big turnover seems to be able to, be okay for now. Meanwhile, you can't say the same in Tuscaloosa. That was one of the most atrocious performances I've seen from an Alabama team in my lifetime. And this is a team that's always physically dominant, no matter whether they're a 9-win team or a national championship team. Bama's usually dominant at the line of scrimmage. They push people around. They can run the ball. Their defense can get to the opposing quarterbacks. All of that is gone, Benjamin. And Tommy Castellanos coming into the season
on it, man,
saying Saban's not there to save you, and everybody clowned him, including myself, because this was a guy who got benched at Boston College. I'm thinking, what the hell does he know? Good God. I mean, if he keeps playing this way, Norvell's going to have another potential Heisman contender.
Oh, slow down.
You know what I mean?
Slow down.
I'm glad you said slow down, because I already see where you're going, but I want to tell you where I'm going.
Slow down.
Is this a Bama is deficient? Was that a Bama is deficient performance, or was that Florida State as a dominant team kind of performance, in your opinion?
Bama's deficient performance. I was shocked by the lack of physicality. I was shocked by how passive they played.
They can't tackle.
They can't tackle. And Kane Womack, I think, is still the defensive coordinator. They're a good friend of all of ours. And, if they thought Pete was bad, I can't imagine what Kane's going through right now.
I've already seen odds on who's going to replace him, man. They don't play around in T-Town.
I mean, like the angles were bad. The effort was bad. It didn't help that Alabama players, at least some of them, seemed more concerned about social media plays than the action on the field, which under Nick Saban would have never have happened. But it's unfair to compare Kalen DeBoer and Nick Saban. Obviously, the only thing I will say about that specifically, you never want to be the guy that replaces the legend. You want to be the guy that replaces the guy that replaces the legend. And Kalen DeBoer was in an unwinnable situation. Even still, it was truly shocking to see how pedestrian Alabama looked. Did they look so bad as to drop out of the top 25 according to Greg McElroy, an alumni? No, that seems like a little bit of an emotional response for a guy who graduated and played there and was a great quarterback at Alabama. But there was nothing inspiring about them. There was nothing you could really hang your hat on about them. It's not like they had a star quarterback and everything else failed around them. It's not like they had Sean Alexander back there in the backfield ripping things off. Meanwhile, Justice Hayes is at Michigan setting the world on fire as an impressive running back. So there's some personnel decisions or question marks that make you go, maybe they aren't on the right side of evaluations and things of that nature, which then falls on Kalen DeBoer specifically. Ty Simpson didn't look like anything special. But again, Ryan Williams really disappointed me. You just saw him right there. Yep. He really disappointed because he is supposed to be one of your absolute superstar studs. And man, the lethargy he was playing with, the alligator arms he was playing with, it's not what you're used to seeing from Alabama. Do I think it's going to be a season-long issue? No. I think they're still going to probably win 9 games. The issue is that 8 and 9 at Alabama is like going 4 and 8 at Ole Miss. Yep.
If you're not competing for the SEC, it's a failure, and that's.
But it's a $60 million buyout.
I know. And here's the thing, man. It's not even that Kalen DeBoer's a bad coach. He's a great coach. I mean, his record has suggested that, but I just don't think he's built for the SEC and the rigors of it. I mean, being able.
I'm not so sure, Sudu, that he wasn't bailed out by Michael Penix just being that good.
You could make that, or even a lot of at Washington, and a lot of that was Chris Peterson's players. You can make that case as well, right? Maybe recruiting
Michael Penix and Rome Odunze, like that. He had 2 next level superstar first round studs, and he's playing in a lesser conference.
Yeah,
and so you got to remember those things, because again, it was an impossible situation for Alabama to hire the guy to replace Nick Saban. It was an impossible situation for Kalen DeBoer to step into. So give him credit for that. But this will not fly.
He doesn't have the fire either. I mean, that just doesn't work in Tuscaloosa. Like, you got to have some fire. You got to be able to own what you do. He looks lost half the time. I'm watching this guy's
so bad.
The press conferences are awful. And it's like,
So
dude,
bad.
when those people smell shark or blood in the water, they're sharks.
Mhm.
The minute they notice a weakness, immediately, I mean, the comparisons to Shula and DeBose, I mean, this guy, I don't know how he's going to get away from it. Like, I think it's over. Like, for him, I hate that because I've always liked Kalen DeBoer. His record has been awesome. He's a good coach. But man, like, that's not all that coaching at Bama is. You have to be the CEO and you have to show strength and power. And like, you got to have it all together. And bro, clearly this guy's just not cut out to be the head coach in T-Town.
See, I think it's a little early for that. I do agree that yes, the press conferences, it's tough, especially when he's getting called out with his own words. He's like, "Oh, I said that." It's not good. That's not good.
Come on, man.
That is not good. Having said that, it's a $60 million buyout. So you have to actually think about the business of football in these decisions. It's not just $60 million for him either. It's for his full staff, which takes to about $80 million. Not to mention that a report came out. I can't remember who wrote it. I want to say it was Ross Dellinger, but if it wasn't, excuse me, forgive me. Like they're not ahead of the pack anymore as far as NIL. I mean, they're just kind of like with everybody else, the rest of the contenders. But that's the reality of college football now.
I get that, but where's the Red Elephant Club? For years, we were told, well, there's a secret society for Alabama, and they make all the decisions.
Now.
They have all this money. Well, now it's above board. You should be able to pay even more openly. I just saw the NCAA clearinghouse has cleared most of the deals that has been presented to it. Why isn't Bama stacking up the deals like they used to drop bags, Ben? Why not?
Because they don't they're not the only game in town allowed to do so. Now it's all above board. Now it's not just selective punishments or selective this, that, and the other. Now that everybody can pay players equally, everybody has come down.
What happened to this guy for Bama, man? What happened to these guys?
They're still there, but the bagmen everywhere else have been strengthened to where, they want their school to be good too. So Alabama has fallen back into the pack. That's just the reality of college football now. They're like the days of one dominant team or two dominant teams are over. Georgia has its warts. Okay. You don't go, well, Georgia is Georgia and everybody else. Everybody else is together. We're all in it together now. Every team, because of the new rules and being able to pay, like all the rules being the same, which is there are no rules, just pay them if you can get the money. If you got the bag, drop it, because it's all above board. It's all in NIL deals, which the NCAA says is fine. Then, of course, Alabama, when they had selective punishments at NCAA help and all that kind of stuff, now that they are on the same playing field as everyone else, they still got more money than most, but it's not like they got more money than Oregon. It's not like they got more money than even Texas. If Auburn's motivated, Auburn can go raise money in a year. Ole Miss, when they thought Lane was flirting with Auburn, they put $10 million in his NIL in days.
Right.
It's just a different world. So Alabama, I think what's the whole reaction from this weekend, they need to come to grips with their days of dominance are over. And yes, some of it has to do with Kalen DeBoer not being Nick Saban. Yeah. But also, he can't just pay everybody and give them cars like Nick could. You know what I mean? Right. Like he can't just while everyone else is having to operate with one hand tied behind their back. Nick Saban could do whatever the heck he wanted to do. Now he doesn't have that same freedom, but he's being held to the same expectations, and it's not fair to him. Yeah. But also, he hadn't helped himself either, right?
No doubt.
A lot of it has to do with Alabama ain't Alabama anymore. No one is. No one is going to be like Georgia's not going to win 3 straight titles. That's not going to happen. You wanted parity? Parity has arrived. And in one school that is bitten hard as hell, Alabama.
Yep. No doubt about that.